Hey dudes!
Morning.
And welcome back to our farmhouse. We finally have one sunny, beautiful morning here, and we decided to come outside here and do a little bit late July garden update.
Yeah, today as we speak is 21st of July, and like you were mentioning earlier, this is one of the sunny days that we get this month, and even the June was not treating us well with the weather, so everything is growing a bit slower, but we will get into it a bit later. So in July actually there were like only few days where the temperatures were rising above 20 degrees, and this is one of them. So let's go see the garden.
Yeah, let's start with the very first things. I just wanted to say we just watched our own June update, and it's super exciting to see how things change so quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
if you want to go check that video.
But after this one. So let's start with the very first thing.
So last month we showed you that we bought and brought here our first blueberry bush, and it's been growing incredibly well. So it likes the environment. It's a half shade, half sun because of the apple tree that is giving it shade. It looks like it's doing well. It's been putting out a lot of growth, and from that growth we took cuttings and we planted this other blueberry bush that will soon to be. This cutting has been sitting in this pot for about 2 weeks now. It doesn't look like it's dying, so we're hoping for it to generate some roots, and in like a couple more weeks time we could plant it next to this blueberry, and then we would have already 2 blueberry bushes in first year.
So right now I'm chilling next to our strawberries. Last time I said that we planted 6 different varieties.
2 different varieties, 6 plants.
6 plants of 2 different varieties, and only 4 survived. At this moment, only 2 survived, but they are doing great, and it is 2 different varieties, so that is good news. But these ones will definitely not die because they're wonderful and super healthy. Unfortunately, I'll have to wait for next year to get some berries. Now I'm standing in our apple tree. Last time the flowers were just coming off. There were no apples whatsoever, but right now we have very big apples already. This is a very healthy apple tree. I'm not actually much of an apple person, but when you see them growing in your own garden, it kind of gets very exciting. Just keep wanting to try some of these ones, but I know they're not ready yet. Oh, definitely not ready. Very sour, but they're super huge. I'm giving them a couple of weeks and they'll be edible already. But yeah, so many apples in this tree. I don't know what we're gonna do with them.
And here in this part of the garden we have our watermelons. Last time we only showed you the plot where they were planted, and now they are sprouted, 2 of them, and growing good. Look at the size of the leaves they are putting out. Give you a little bit of a close up. Obviously we don't know if this growing season will be long enough for them to produce any flowers or fruit, but we will keep them as long as possible and keep watching them and water as necessary, and we'll see how they grow. Maybe next month they already give us flowers. So now it's time to show off our cucumber garden, and last time when we showed it there was nothing growing, and this month we have. Actually they are putting out great growth. They are luscious, green, and with huge leaves.
We did plant them in somewhat shade because we didn't really know how the environment goes around here. These are the ones that we planted, I think, a month later or something.
And these are the white variety, so they produce white cucumbers, which I've never seen before. So excited for them to grow.
Yeah, neither have I. And but these are doing even better, even though they were planted later. So yeah, the leaves are very big and strong, and even though they are in the shade, I think they're doing really well. So right here besides me there's radishes, because all these beds were empty and we decided to fill them with at least radishes. These guys, because they were planted in summer, they're not doing very well, and no one's really gonna eat them, but hey, they can do whatever they want. But in between them, there started to come up little cukes anyways.
And even behind me here is some more cucumber growth, and these are very well spaced apart. So they have a lot of growing space. If they decide to grow and produce, they would be happy here.
Yeah, just so you know, like for comparison, I think other farmers in Latvia already started harvesting cukes, so we're quite late.
Yeah.
But we still have a while to go, so we're still hoping to get a lot of late season cucumbers.
Yeah, we might have them in August, which is also not the worst thing, because why not?
Yeah, still cukes anyways.
Right.
Ta-da! Now this is our famous onion and dill plot. As you can see, the dills are insanely huge by now. As we said, we've had insane amount of rain, and some of the rain is like super crazy. So some of our onions have fallen down, but they're still alive, which is great news.
They only need to keep bulking up for another month, and then they will be ready for harvest. So right now they just take all the nutrition from the roots, and then they're just bulbing up.
In between, now we also planted more salad, because why not? There's room, and it actually helps the onions kind of stay up a little bit.
And also the salad is enough for our tortoise to eat whenever he feels like, fresh and green, which is pretty much every day. So we're happy to feed him organic salad. So yesterday we actually ran out of onions, and we harvested our onion. I don't remember from where, somewhere from this space, and it was huge. It was like the store quality onion or bigger.
Hey dudes! Alright, so it's quite the big day today because we're gonna test out our very first homegrown onion.
Because we ran out of the store-bought and we're cooking potatoes. So
and you can't cook potatoes without an onion, so
obviously
we'll
need to pick one. Pick the biggest one. Go for the big one.
But all of them are insanely big. We're getting a really good onion harvest, so...
Good season for onions?
Oh, the best!
Yep.
Come out! Oh, look at him! This is 2 times bigger onion than the ones we saw in the store, like when we bought them, because they're tiny. But this is a real onion, and look at the leeks.
Amazing. And it did taste a lot better than any other onions that I ever had. Obviously biased because our own onions closer to our heart. But it's really nice to just have something from the garden on your plate. And then if you remember from the previous video, we had our round beds here next to our onion beds. And these are growing incredible. These salads are going to seed already. So, but some leaves are still producing from the ground, so we can still pick these.
Maybe we would not put all of our salad seeds in just one crazy place, because yeah, I think they're fighting for space.
In here, in this bed, this is where we had our spinach. So these are going to seed as well. These are overgrown, as you can see. We harvested them once. I was actually quite disappointed with the spinach because I thought the leaves would be much bigger, but they were kind of tiny as the first time we showed you, maybe a little bit bigger when we harvested them. And then after that the growth just stopped, and then they just started to shoot up with the flowers. So I don't know why they didn't grow any bigger, but that's how we got them.
Maybe we'll plant them earlier when it's colder. And maybe we'll plant just a bigger plot so we get a lot of those tiny leaves. But hey, it was one meal with a little bit of spinach, which was great.
And behind me here, we have some cherry tomatoes. We bought more seeds because the shop was having 90% sale on seeds, and we just grabbed some of them, some more cucumbers, some more peas, and also some tomatoes. So we seeded them here in the round bed, and they are doing well. I hope they will have enough time to grow bigger, but I'll show you them right now. And this is the stage that they are in right now. Not too bad. Also, what's new this month is that we have gem lettuces growing. These are also the new bots. So maybe they will generate a little gem lettuces. They are supposed to be not only the leaves, but they need to make a little ball. So we can just like slice them and use them as Roman lettuce. So maybe they make little lettuce heads for us.
I don't know why we were so concerned that we wouldn't be able to grow potatoes, because look at them.
They are growing big. These are about 50 centimeters tall as we speak, and they're growing by day. So far pest free. The only maintenance we're doing, we are cutting the grass around them in these trails that we have where we are sleeping right now. So very low maintenance, and looks like they will be very productive.
We're supposed to harvest them when they would flower, but apparently there's some species that don't flower, so not sure when we'll harvest these guys, but they look really, really healthy, so we'll definitely grow bigger potatoes than we can find in the store.
Absolutely.
Plus organically.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we inherited some berry bushes. So we have one tiny cranberry bush.
That's not cranberry.
No, what is this?
I don't know. Cranberries are zervet.
Red currants, maybe?
Red currants.
We'll check out, but I have a little harvest. Want to try?
Yeah.
Sour as fuck.
But they don't get any better though.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be sweet. Then we have black currant.
So this bush we are very proud of. We yesterday picked most of the berries off because we're going to be making a syrup. So this is the amount of black currants that we have picked. We have about 6 liters. So we're going to make the juice.
This is the bucket that I picked myself.
Which is not true, you did help with this.
A little bit, but this is mostly your picking, so clearly someone is doing a bit faster than I am.
These smell really nice.
Yes, they do. So we'll do the syrup, and hopefully we'll get some jam out of it as well.
Yeah.
For the pancakes.
We also have some red gooseberries. So these are a bit more interesting than the green ones. In my mother's countryside house, we had green gooseberries, but these are quite cool.
Fancier version.
Ooh.
They're slowly turning red just now. They're still kind of crunchy. When they're super ready, they will not be crunchy, but they're already sweet inside, which is good. Yeah. They're kind of fancier version. They're tiny though. The green ones can get like twice the size of these ones, like big green grapes. But hey, I'm not gonna complain about free berries. Now this is our cherry tree with no cherries anymore.
We ate them all.
Yeah, we got about 1 or 2 full bowls of cherries. They're really nice. They're the sour kind, but they were still, when they were ready, they're really nice.
Yeah, so we ate all of them, and we also baked a little cake. So I'm very happy for the first years. This tree is not like fully grown. As you can see, it's not the biggest cherry tree you've ever seen. But give them a couple of years, it will bush out and branch out and will produce even more berries.
Yeah, but it's really great to have a cherry tree in your garden as well, because
without planting one.
Yeah, definitely.
So here we have growing our decorative pumpkins. These been putting out a great growth, and now they have flower buds already. So hopefully they will flower soon, and after that they will create those weird pumpkins. So these are more interesting than any other, because on the packet there were like 10 different varieties, so they can produce anything. So these all will be a bit weird and funky, so I can't wait for these to make anything at all. We have about 10 plants here, so 10 different options might be possible growing here. Here we have butternut squash growing, a bit tiny, but hopefully it will make up for its size. Then here we have cucumbers. These were the latest planted, so from the seed haul that was 90% off. Actually each seed packet was like 5 cents, so it's incredible. So we can't really lose anything, even if they produce in September, if at all. So happy to see them growing. Here we have some more cucumbers, and these are planted quite closely together because I didn't expect those seeds to germinate so well, but probably this is what's gonna kill them. I don't think they will be able to compete for the space or the nutrients needed, but we'll see as they grow, because these were also from the latest seed haul, so might as well just let them grow.
So here we have 3 beautiful pumpkins. This one's just a little bit tinier, but hey, you can keep up at some point. But these guys are doing really well. I don't know if these are the flower buds, but if they are, there's about, I don't know, 38 of them. All of them are quite tiny, because as from the past, I remember when my grandma used to grow pumpkins, they were insanely huge. But as we said, the weather hasn't been the kindest to us and our pumpkins, but I really want to get those round orange pumpkins that we can put next to our front of our door to decorate and be ready to celebrate Halloween and stuff like that. So hope these guys keep up and get even bigger.
At least they have another 3 months till the Halloween to grow.
That's true.
This is one of the most successful parts of our round beds. And these are zucchinis. As you can see, they are opening up. We have flowers on them. So we have many zucchinis to come. On each plant there's about 10 flower buds. I don't think all of them will be fertile, because some of them are male, some of them are female probably. Anyways, I'm not an expert on this, but I'm really hoping for any growth whatsoever. So we will leave them flower, and then hopefully they will create those little zucchinis on the end of the flower bud. Here we have some red beet growing. This one is the biggest in the bed. We have some smaller ones around here as well. This one, for example.
There's these guys.
And them. But yeah, this one is growing fast. So we'll have some beets. We can make some beet soup.
So this is our kale bed. I think it's doing quite well. I don't know how big it's supposed to be. Probably 10 times bigger, but hey. We don't even know how kale tastes like, so the fact that it's growing here is kind of interesting. Right here we have 4 plants of what we think is cauliflower. As far as we remember, that's what we planted here. But these guys are doing great. So we have this guy, then there's a super tiny one right there, and 2 more, which is more than you would expect to grow cauliflower in Latvia. So we'll see. These might need extra time to grow a bit more, but we'll keep them as long as we can.
So here we have our bean fields and pea fields. So we have planted some more peas. They are on the wigwam, and then behind me we have peas on a trellis. They keep flowering and producing sweet peas. So we've been eating these each morning when we come out here to check our garden. These have been awesome. So we just pop them open and just have them like that. And then we give back these pods to the soil so they can produce even more for us. For these peas right here we have a wigwam, so they have a lot of space to grow. I think even too much space for them to grow. Look how tall this is. But they can utilize as much as they need. On the other side we also have wigwam, but these peas are not doing as well as the other ones.
So it's getting a little bit hotter in our garden, which is great. This is what summer was supposed to be. But I'm sitting next to our pig beans, and look at this giant pig bean. It already has the bean pods growing and flowers.
These are the pods, but they are getting really big. Right now they are quite average size. This would be a normal size for any other bean, but for these ones, they're just babies. So they will grow so big. And look how many flowers still at the top. So all of them will produce greatly.
So what's this?
So on this side we have yellow beans, and on the other side we have green beans. So these are flowering and producing little pods already. These are also way shorter than I expected for beans to be. I thought that they would just like overgrow the trellis and I would just need to put more and more layers of the string. But it's not happening like that. These started to flower and produce, but they are tiny. So this is how the flowers are looking. And now I'm gonna go find some pods for you to show. And these are the pods that they create. These need to be a little bit bigger, so we'll need to leave them for a week or so they mature, and then we can fry them. Wait, this one is ready for picking. Look how big is this. Look at this bean. Wow. These are so huge. So this is what we're gonna add for tonight's dinner for stir fry and noodles. Next are yin yang bushes.
The French bush beans, the yin yang ones. These guys are very healthy and strong.
Still some more flower buds coming up, and also some of the beans.
It's weird because we didn't even think that these would even germinate in our kind of climate, but
yeah,
they're doing great.
Yeah, each of them are producing like 20 flower buds, so very good.
Yeah, so these ones we will dry out. And
we'll leave them on the plant as long as possible, and then when we pick them, we're just gonna hang them and dry. Right?
Yeah, and then we'll have them throughout the winter. Now this bed was supposed to be for our red beans, but not a single one of them germinated, so we planted more radishes in. I mean, right?
The size of that one.
I'll test it out later. Maybe it's edible.
Beautiful. Here we have 3 round beds of cucumbers. So these we planted when we thought that the ones next to the house are not germinating or doing anything back in the June garden update. But these are now out of the ground and these are putting out some growth. So maybe we will get some more cucumbers. If all of the cucumbers that we have planted grows, we will have a cucumber farm here.
We have 2 beautiful beds of carrots. We planted 2 different varieties. So these ones are the pink ones, or
purple ones.
Purple carrots. I've never heard of these before, but they're doing quite well, surprisingly well for carrots.
Look at the size of these, and we have full bed of them. They don't look any purple just yet, but look how many we have in here. And then this side we have just regular carrots. Usual orange ones, also growing in between the grass here.
We mentioned before that we have quite a lot of wildlife here in our gardens and in our land, and I can see some footprints of some animal who just walked through our carrot bed like nobody's business. So if any of you watching are a hunting expert or animal expert, can you look at these footprints and tell me what kind of animal crossed our fields? Because I'm very curious.
And right here we have 2 rows of red potatoes. Last time there was nothing growing yet, but this time we have quite a few plants and some of them are giving me a flower buds. So we planted here 2.5 kilos, and we'll see in the autumn how many kilos we pick from here, but way more. So these are growing very nice and beautiful. So we'll keep them in the ground for another month or so, and then we'll pick red potatoes.
Some of them are growing at their own speed and time. Some of them are quite big. Some of them are just a bit smaller, and some of them are just popping out now. Some of them completely disappeared. I don't know where, at least.
Yeah, this side there was supposed to be another 4 plants, but none.
Yeah, they just, I don't know, someone took those potatoes away because everything else sprouted and are looking great. But yeah, it's the mystery we'll never solve.
And for these potatoes we have the similar gardening technique. So we just trim around the rows that we have planted. So in the middle there is a bigger gap, so in case they grow big and bulky, they have space to expand. And yeah, so they can see the sun and they have space. And inside here, I think these are the flower buds. Maybe not, but I am hoping that they are. So they are quite similar to the regular potato, but the stalks, they are red instead of the yellowish green that the regular potatoes has. This is just a regular potato field. As you can see, still 6 rows of potatoes. Looking good. Then we also have raspberries. These again we didn't plant, we just inherited from the previous owners. And we have them in 4 places in our property, and this is one of them. This is next to the gardens, and some of them are coming in to be ready. This berry is still a bit green, but some of them we already tried and some of them are ready.
So this is my pride and joy. These are the super tiny chili seedlings that last time I showed were still in the tray. But now we planted them in the garden and look how great they're doing. Now, will they actually produce some chilies? We don't know because, as we said, the weather is terrible, especially for chilies. But at least the plants look very healthy. They keep growing every day. And I'm still hoping that I could achieve at least 1 chili this season.
And as Richards was bragging about his chilies, my pride in this corner of the garden is the tomatoes. So these been growing from the seed. So we started them in trays, but they were like little tiny babies when we planted these out. And since then they've been putting out a great growth. I really hope that the growing season will be enough for them. We do still have a couple months left. So even if they grow in August and September, maybe we will get some tomatoes. As you can see, in 1 month's time they have been growing quite a lot. So if they do the same or a little bit more, we should be able to harvest some tomatoes. I just wanted to say about this plot here, we kind of have planted the heat-loving plants like peppers and tomatoes. And for next year, we're definitely gonna have a greenhouse, because this year we were kind of late coming here with the house and everything. We didn't buy the greenhouse right away, but for next year we're definitely gonna get one. And so for the tomatoes and peppers, it's obviously a lot better to grow them in the polytunnel or the greenhouse.
Just like my chili peppers, we also planted some sweet peppers, paprika. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tiny little plants. This is the strongest one. Don't know how well they'll be doing, but we can just wait and see and give them as much as sun and love as we can.
Oh, what a nice sweet pepper growth. Again, these would appreciate the greenhouse rather than growing outside, but hey, we give them what we can. And here we have our mint bed. So we have flowering mint. I'm gonna try to get it close up because it's beautiful. But all of this area with the grass, you can find mint there, so very nice. There we go. Look how beautiful the flowers are.
Washed my radish.
Wanna try it out?
Sure do. The crunch time?
Mm-hmm.
It's alright.
Doesn't look like it's very good.
No, it's okay. Not woody just yet, but it's not super crunchy either.
Not as fresh as in spring?
Yeah. It's okay.
We also have some beautiful calendulas growing here that we inherited as well. So very low maintenance. We've been only cutting grass around them. And look how nice they are. Alright, I'm exhausted running around the garden this morning.
It takes quite a while to walk through everything and explaining everything what we're doing, but it also feels great to see the progress, because that's what we are doing every morning, just impatiently waiting for something to change. Yeah, I think we should probably wrap this up.
Absolutely. So we will see you in August.
So if you guys enjoy gardens, you can leave a like. If you want to follow our garden journey and our journey here in the farmhouse, you can subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.